Plop down at the side of grace, grab a nice hot flask of Crimson Tears, and pet your favorite dog, because it's storytime with Anecdote. Well everyone, Elden Ring is finally here. Well, or has been, depending on when you're watching this video. Elden Ring's release has brought a ton of new faces to the world of Souls-like games. Like, a ton! It's awesome. On Reddit alone, the community has nearly 1 million Tarnished seeking grace. Compare that to From Software's previous most popular game, Dark Souls, has a community of 500,000. If you're one of those faces, welcome to the community. It's awesome. It's not a cult at all. Not at all. Those numbers are insane when you realize I made this script about a month after Elden Ring's release, and Dark Souls 3 released way back in 2016. I've seen a lot of comments on the internet talking about how they expected a game like Skyrim, but ended up crying in a corner after getting whooped by the Tree Sentinel for the 153rd time. Markiplier, yeah, I'm looking at you. Because of this widespread popularity, and I have a little knowledge of the From Software franchise and their creation of their own genre of games, Souls-like, I wanted to make a short video describing what a Souls-like is and offer a few of my own tips from when I stumbled into the cult, never to return to my old ways of gaming again. We'll begin with the company FromSoft. They began the genre of Demon Souls in 2009 and have since continued to make dark, gloomy, and downright difficult games that like to taunt in red, all caps letters that you, in fact, did die. Yes, as if we didn't already know that. Thanks, Miyazaki. Along with Demon Souls, they are known for the Dark Souls series, that is 1 through 3, its steampunk brother Bloodborne, and the anime edgelord version, Sekiro, all of which have similar game mechanics, world design, and of course, difficulty, donning the genre Souls-like. Many other game developers kind of realized that these games got popular and jumped on the bandwagon to try to make similar games. A few notable ones that you might recognize are Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Neo, The Surge, Code Vein, and even Hollow Knight. Okay, now that we've got all that out of the way, I wanted to jump to the meat and potatoes of this video. What defines a Souls-like game? For me, there are many things that come to mind, and I could talk about it all day, and if you want to talk about it, hit me up. Let's talk. I think it boils down to about 7 defining features, and yeah, we'll just jump right in. The first one I've got on my list is it needs to have a high but fair difficulty. These games are made to challenge you, but not in a way that makes you want to give up and go back to an easy game like Minecraft. A true Souls-like will leave you feeling true happiness when you finally overcome the roadblock you've been stuck on. This is because they are challenging in a way that makes you think and adapt to situations they throw at you. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel if you grow with the game. Except Radon. I swear if I get one shot by his meteorite dive on that tiny horse, I'm going to... Speaking of which, this genre is centered around bosses. The lore, the NPCs, the maps all focus on the champions of the world you find yourself in, most of which have fallen from their former glory. Looking at you, the One Reborn, disgusting. Look at, just look at that thing. How many bodies? I don't want to know. Each boss in these games is unique and challenging, offering the player a new challenge and a sense of accomplishment when the player defeats them. I don't think any game outside of a Souls-like game has given me quite the thrill and excitement a Souls-like boss gives. It's just different, and if you haven't experienced it, please give it a try. Bloodborne is free on PlayStation 5 if you have a PlayStation Plus subscription. Just saying. Go out and play it if you've got a PlayStation 5. If you can't make your character the ugliest creature you've ever laid eyes on, then it's probably not a Souls-like. And if you can't grind levels just to get one shot by that boss you've been fighting for 4 hours and cried for like at least 3 of those, then it's not a Souls-like. I know some of you out there are thinking, but Sekiro doesn't have any of that and is made by FromSoft. And well, yeah, you're right. But this is my video and I can say what I want, so You should subscribe so you can catch all those things and leave them in the comments saying how wrong I am. I can take it. The element of leveling up is actually vital to the lore of this genre's games. Like, leveling up and the lore go so well together. In most of their games, you are someone who is eternally trapped in a world where everything is stronger than you. And the only way to succeed is to keep growing stronger and to keep trying until you finally overcome the obstacle in front of you. I think this is so poetic because this is a journey that both your character in the game and you, the player, go through together. The character in the game levels up and gets stronger, new abilities, new weapons, and you, the player, learn new strategies. You see how to fight the bosses, which ways to go, and you grow together. Oh, and it's gotta have a dodge roll, of course. Now, the rest of these are quick, but I would say equally important to the genre of what makes a Souls-like. Souls-like games are very combat focused. They need to be centered around the combat, and the combat needs to be good and it needs to be fair. I think a lot of other games think that they have this, but they don't. Souls-like games, the combat, I don't know how to explain it. I literally cannot explain it. It just feels so right. But when you get hit by an enemy in one of these games, it's not like, oh, that was unfair. You're like, yeah, I kind of deserve that. I messed up. It's not the game's fault. I think that's kind of what sets it apart. A few key components of the combat of a Souls-like are the aforementioned dodge roll. This gives invincibility frames where if you're in the dodge roll, you won't get hit by the enemy and take damage, even though it looks like the sword is piercing right through your side. It needs to have a parry mechanic with like a riposte kind of action afterwards, a block mechanic, and it kind of just needs to be melee combat. I think it can have some range combat, but mostly melee combat, which is close range if you don't know what melee is. I mean, melee is kind of a weird word that you don't see outside of video games, but no one's talking about that. It needs to have vague but deep lore. These games are set in dark universes where the player is as oblivious to what is going on in the world as the resurrected dead guy they're playing as. To be in this genre, the game needs to be more secretive about it than Coca-Cola is about their secret recipe. Come on, Coke, just tell us the recipe already. Pepsi needs some help, dude. The game needs to have souls or echoes or runes or, whatever the game wants to call it. It's your money, your level up juice. It's pretty much one of the most important resources in the game. So now you have money, walk in, you're all happy, and now you don't. Welcome to Souls-like. If you don't get back your fat stacks before dying again, you will lose them permanently. Yes, permanently. They're not coming back. They're not out there somewhere. But, don't worry. You almost never die before getting back to your money in these games, right? Because you killed all the enemies, right? Right? Well, in a Souls-like, not quite. Way through countless enemies and falling for all the game's traps and tricks, you finally see an unlit side of grace ahead, a place of rest. As you dream of all of the levels you're about to buy with your runes, a wolf you can't see howls and charges in with its pack of friends, dismounting you from your horse and killing you. You awake at a previous site of grace with no money, and every enemy you slayed in your previous conquest is back. Every single one. You have to start all over in these games. Seriously, like what the crap? But yeah, it's gotta have resting spots, I guess. That's what I believe to be the defining characteristics of a Souls-like game, and Elden Ring is a great addition to it, and I know that hundreds of thousands of people are loving and enjoying this game, and I just wanted to make this video to talk about, what is a Souls-like? Maybe you didn't know, maybe you knew and you just needed to brush up. I hope this video helps, and if it did, please leave a like or subscribe. It would really help. Just one person finding enjoyment in the video or finding it helpful makes my day. If you're still here, thank you. I'll end this video with my story because if I can get into this genre, then anyone can with just a little perseverance. I bought Bloodborne solely because the art style looked amazing, honestly. It had this steampunk, gothic, Victorian vibe that I couldn't resist. I knew nothing about the franchise and the world of hurt that lay ahead of me. I turned it on, hopeful, it looked so cool, and 4 hours later, I literally made zero progress in the game. I had no idea where to go, what I was supposed to do, and could not level up or find a checkpoint at all. I think it was after about 6 hours that I found the first boss, the Cleric Beast. quest. And after many tries, I bring him down only to reach the second boss very shortly after, Father Gascoigne. This dude was like no boss I had ever fought, and after probably 30 attempts, I stopped playing the game. After a year, I returned to the game with a new resolve. I hate not finishing a game, and I ended up finishing it, and dare I say, I got good. So don't give up on Elden Ring if you're at that point, or whatever game you're playing. Find resolve and push through. Find a new strategy, or, just get good, scrub. This has been Zanecdote, bringing you another anecdote. Thanks for listening.
Life like this is what your life like. Try to live the life right.